Hello everyone, welcome to today's Legal 101. Being a Wednesday, it's on family and succession law. Particularly, we're talking about the rights of fathers and mothers as pertains paternity and inclusion in a birth certificate. Now, we're borrowing from a judgment that was issued by Justice Abureli, and I'm just going to read two quotes from that judgment that will then inform our discussions. The first one is, mothers, please, your children have the right to know who their biological fathers are. Do not include the name of a person who is not the biological father of your child in the child's birth certificate without that person's express written consent. Do not lie as far as paternity of your child is. The second quote. Mothers are advised that unless in extreme circumstances of abuse and neglect, to help their children know their fathers. This is because the psychological benefits of having a father present far outweigh the negative effects of his absence on the child, now and in the future. Now, the facts of the case. A man applied to the court before Justice Abureli that his name be struck out from the birth certificate belonging to a minor, and that the child be issued with a new birth certificate which does not bear his name. So of course he sued the mother of the child, the AG, and the registrar of births and deaths. And the background of the case was that the mother of the child conceived while she was in a relationship with this man. Years later he became suspicious and of course stopped providing for the child. And so the mother of the child reported him to the children's department, as one does, for child neglect. So he was summoned to discuss this issue, and eventually he agreed to provide for the child. Around this time, he undertook a private DNA test, and the results were that he was not the biological father of this child. And so that prompted the application now before Justice Abureli. In response in court, the mother of the child said that this DNA report that was conducted was not authentic, and in any case, she was not involved. It was done without her consent. So the court said, okay, Sawa, you people are in talking terms, it's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to do a test at the government chemist in Kisumu, and the man agreed to meet the costs of the DNA test. Bear in mind, sometimes parties are asked to pay, to each contribute to whatever costs will be incurred in conducting the paternity test, but in this case, the man agreed to pay the cost, and so the test was conducted. It was confirmed that he was not the father, so the report was filed in court. As soon as the report was filed in court, the mother stopped coming to court. So too did her advocate. I should stop judging. And so in the circumstances, this is what the court said. Number one, these proceedings have nothing to do with child maintenance and support. And later on, we will look at case law, or what the law provides, where as a father you find out you've been providing for somebody who's not your child. Do you stop? Can you stop? We'll find out the legal implications of that. Number two, the court said, Article 35 of the Constitution guarantees every person the right to the correction or deletion of untrue or misleading information that affects that person. Equally for the child, they have a right to the correction or deletion of untrue or misleading information that would affect them. And so since the information contained in this birth certificate is untrue, the name of the father who has lodged this matter should be deleted and shall be deleted. And therefore the AG and the Registrar of Births and Deaths was directed to reissue to the child a fresh birth certificate with or without the name of the child's biological father. Now, I think I've already said this many times, that if you can get to a place where you ask yourself, what is the best interest of this child, regardless of my feelings, regardless of what I have been through that has gotten me to this place, if you can get to a place where you're able to say, the best interest of this child is XYZ, you've won half the battle. Now it's no longer about your ego, it's literally about the little one. You've won. And once you're there, anything is possible. So always, in matters involving a child, what's the best interest of the child? In this case, the best interest of the child was to ensure that the incorrect information input in the system was corrected. You don't want a child who has an identity crisis. Okay? So that marks the end of today's Legal on One. It also feeds into what we will discuss tomorrow, because somebody had asked me what happens when you're issued with a birth certificate or an ID that has something that needs to be corrected. And why is it that you're still expected to pay for these corrections, yet you did not actually take part in them, and it eats into your time, and you may have to file affidavits, or always arm yourself with affidavits to always convince somebody that this person who's in this birth certificate is me. This name as provided in my certificates from school refer to the same person, yet the mistake is not yours. So as we have said, you have a right to the correction or deletion of untrue or misleading information that affects you. So we'll explore that more tomorrow. See you, bye.